I am in the Buck and Eddie trenches, the Buddy trenches, if you will, to such an alarming degree that it is like giving me energy where it doesn't exist. I need you all to understand that, like, I have multiple concurrent developing chronic illnesses. One of the main symptoms of those is just like debilitating fatigue. Don't need to get into it. I'll have you all know that I was up until 2:30 a.m. this morning after the episode, binge watching the Buddie System on the big TV with my roommate and best friend Patricia. And we were buddy maxing so hard that we literally couldn't go to sleep. Like we were like, hold on. Like I felt like something cracked inside of me, to be honest. And this is not the first time this has happened to me. I have what I call like tsunami waves of hyperfixations with fandoms, especially in the last few years. And they never go away. Like they have waves. And I am in the second wave of my 911 hyperfixation, specifically Buddy. And now that I feel like there's legitimate hope attached to it, I can't go there if there's not real hope with like real evidence to support it. But now that we do, and I genuinely think that Gay Eddie is happening sooner rather than later, and then eventually one day we'll get Buddy, I think it's not a matter of if, but when. Once that finally clicked into my brain during these last few episodes, something really irreparable happened to me. The brain worms are so loud. Like, I got like 5 hours of sleep last night, which is not good for me. I have been on a level of energy today that should be concerning, but you know what? It's free, so we're not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And not because anything particularly crazy happened with Buddy or like with Gay Eddie last night. Obviously, the entire point of the episode was like the struggles of Evan Buckley and this horrible thing he's going through and everyone banding together in the found family. Don't worry about it. I talked about it in a 10-minute video already up on my page. But like, there were some moments that just have me going crazy. Number one, Chimney mentioning Eddie, quickly following mentioning Maddie. And those being the two people he mentioned to Buck, being like, have you reached out to these two people? As if it's like, your sister and your spouse. All right. And then we have the casual mention by Eddie in the ambulance that like, oh, we all had sushi for lunch. Let me go make sure Chris is okay because he thinks Buck has food poisoning. He meant him, Buck, and Chris. He didn't mean the 118 all had sushi. He meant their little family had sushi, which means they just like eat together all the time. Okay. And then we have, the whole matter of Eddie like admitting to Hen in Buck's kitchen that like he feels really guilty about not knowing that Buck was okay and not pushing harder, and he's like freaking out, and Hen low key, sorry, that was Australian for a second there, low key kind of clocking him. And then see, there's multiple things. We have Eddie taking care of Buck like it's fucking archive of our own.org up in here. Like it is. We had him, like, genuinely, that scene where Buck is on the couch and he's taking his blood pressure and they're talking, and that smile that Eddie gives, that smile, the flirting that Buck is launching at Eddie, even while he's going through the horrors. The fact that Chris was there because he is a part of the family and deemed old enough to handle this and is, like, very important to Buck. The fact that in the montage where everyone is like, the time-lapse montage, that Eddie is the most prominent one in there and you can see him the clearest from every angle in the room. That he's on the couch next to him the most. The fact that Eddie's chair was closest to the bed when he was helping take care of Buck, but it wasn't like that for Chimney or Maddie. Just the way Eddie was looking at Buck in general the whole episode. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? This is not even like Mother's Boy where it was centered on the two of them. This is centered on Buck, and this shit is still happening. It's so obvious now. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the little moment where Eddie and everybody are in the gym talking about May's new potential boo, which didn't end up being, thank goodness, because May Ravi forever. And they show him the guy on the phone, and Eddie goes, damn. 10 out of 10? No notes. That was funny as fuck. in all seriousness, don't take it from me. Like, I'm just out here buddy maxing, gay Eddie maxing, having a great time. If you need like receipts and evidence and like meat to support this theory, I need you right the fuck now to go to youtube.com. I need you to go to the Buddie System Podcast, and I need you to watch the Stop Dooming Buddy video that they just released a few days ago. Okay? It's about how Buddy is not a queer bait, and here's why. And the reason why I'm telling you to go watch this or listen to it, whatever you want. I'm a doomer in my heart, all right? I'm evidence-based. I would rather protect my feelings from getting hurt in the future, and this show pissed me off a year ago. I released an entire video about how this was queerbait if they don't fix their shit ASAP. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't have those opinions, but now that I have new information, this is what I encourage everyone to do. Learn new things, change your opinion if necessary, right? I have changed my opinion completely. And I was already like 3/4 of the way there, but I got all the way there after listening to this particular podcast episode by the Buddie System. And the reason why is not because they just like said a bunch of shit, was because they said a bunch of shit, but they backed it up with literal numbers, with literal examples from network television. They brought forth the history of procedural television, which, by the way, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know the ins and outs of procedural television. To be honest, that's not where my bread and butter is. I don't watch other procedural shows. This is kind of an outlier for me. I'm a genre TV streaming girly, so I'm not used to kind of the patterns of how they write these shows. And I now understand. I understand what 911 is potentially doing. I honestly retract a lot of the statements I've made in the past. And I think everyone in this fandom who is a Buddy fan should listen to this episode, like 100%. Like, I feel like it should be required reading. Like, we should all be in a book club right now, so to speak, and we should all listen to that episode and get on the same page. Hope maxing, all right? We are hope maxing from now on. I'm not even going to get into the Tim Minear of it all. Apparently, he's like, knows the podcast. There's all this lore there. They can speak on it. I'm not going to speak on it for them, but like, that was crazy to learn. You guys, now's the time. Now's the time to buddy max. Now's the time to have a good time with it. Let's have like, regardless of what happens in the next few episodes, let's like have a great hiatus. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's get back to fandom basics and like fandoms of old where we all have a silly, goofy, fun time and are excited about what's to come and are loving the show that we love. Let's do it. Let's do it and listen to the Buddy System. And I'm like this close to joining the Patreon, so maybe you'll see me there because I'm like, yeah, I support what these people are doing. They're smart, they're capable, they know what they're talking about. I trust them with my life. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, feeling great, riding a high. What a time to be a 911 fan.